All right, here we go. Hey, this is Matt from Red Root Defense. Thank you for tuning in. This is a repeat because somewhere between this video and the last video that I did, one of the last videos that I did, I guess I didn't pay my YouTube bill or something because all the video fell out. So I'm doing it again. Hopefully, this is even better. Maybe I'm getting better at doing these things. I don't know. But anyway, so today we're going to take a look at a couple of SIGs. We're going to unbox a SIG P365 and we're going to compare it with a P365X, which I happen to have here in the shop as well. So thank y'all for tuning in. I do want to say, as always, that nothing in here was given to me. Everything was purchased. So it was all purchased to sell or for me to shoot or whatever. So I'm free to use my judgment. Everything is objective here. Nobody's paying me to say anything good about any product at all. So hopefully you can get something good out of it. I appreciate you listening, and thanks for pointing out my last video that didn't have any video, that didn't have any audio. So I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Let me adjust my camera a little bit, and hopefully you can see everything. Okay, so what we have here is a SIG P365. All right, so comes in plastic bag, which I can get out of the way. So when you open the box, here's what you have. You have the P365. There's both sides. It comes with one magazine that's already in the gun. It comes with an extra magazine that's in this nice little plastic bag. Now you see the difference between these two magazines. First of all, let me go ahead and say these are both 10-round magazines. So you see the difference between the two. One of them is extended, one of them is flush. And that's interesting. We'll get back to that. So you have your magazines, and you have your paperwork. This is your manual, and you get a neat little sticker to put on things. One thing I'll say that this ain't necessarily the normal guy comment. Read your manual. Your manual is full of good information. It's really helpful. It's got information on how to strip it, how to disassemble, how to reassemble, how to troubleshoot, how to clean. So there's a lot of good information in the manual. So anytime you get a new handgun or new rifle, new firearm of any kind, highly recommend you read the manuals. And you will come to realize, as I have, some manuals are really good. The SIG is one of those. Some manuals, not quite so much. So let's see what else we got. If you lift this up, then you have the lock. So there's the lock. All right, this back in here. Yeah, just move that out of the way. So, all right, so back to the SIG. This is officially called the P365 Nitron Micro Compact. Now, it is fairly small. Obviously, built for carry purposes. It consists of a, what is this? 3.1-inch barrel. I have to check my notes. Idiot sheet. 3.1-inch barrel. It is 5.8 inches overall long. It is 1.06 inches wide. It is 4.3 inches high. And it weighs 17.8 ounces. Now remember that, that's important. 17.8 ounces. So you have a 10-round semi-automatic, weighs 17.8 ounces. That's pretty good. Another interesting thing about the 365, you'll see where it says 365 on the slide. Let's look at the sights. It comes with what they call day-night X-ray sights. And this is a pretty good, I like this. This camera makes it a little bit easier to see the sights. I just can't line it up right because I can't work backwards. But anyway, there you have it. You have a green fiber up front, and you have white dots in the back. Those actually are pretty easy to operate as far as the sights go. And they are day-night sights, so they are handy. You have, notice the curved trigger. When I compare it to the 365X, you're going to notice a difference there. There's a top view of the slide. Like I said, another rear view where it's put together here. Let's See how this works. There's your extended magazine. And now I don't have huge monster hands necessarily. My fingers are long and skinny. Um, if you have really, really big bear paw type hands, you might have an issue with this pistol. Probably won't notice it as far as, um, an everyday carry issue because it's not something you're going to be, picking up and playing with it every day. Um, it is very comfortable to carry. So, but if you have big hands, they're going to swallow this gun. And you see there's with the extended magazine, I just have enough room for my pinky to kind of sit here, but it's not flush. It just gives it somewhere to grab onto. I don't think I would be really concerned about that, um, you know, just on a regular shooting basis. However, if you use the flush magazine, which is here, that's gone. There's nothing there. My pinky finger's blowing in the breeze. So it is a little bit smaller. So, but it's meant for that. Um, it's meant to be carried, you know, without having, worried about being seen or whatever. So it'll fit basically a lot of places, fit in your pocket probably. There's a lot of good holsters out there for this pistol. Um, and by all reports from everything that I've read, it shoots really well. I haven't shot this particular one. This one just came in the shop not too long ago, and it's on order already. Um, so it's a good price point for a good pistol. And SIGs have an excellent reputation on purpose, so they really work for their quality. So there you have it. You have how this operates. Obviously, it's semi-auto. So there's your slide latch, and there's your takedown latch. If you notice, I've already made sure this is unloaded. So always make sure your firearms are unloaded when you're showing them off or working on them. Just a little note there. All right, see this trigger. Watch it. I have not put anything on here to check what the trigger pull weight is, but I'm just doing it by feel here. If you watch the trigger as I pull it, that's when it goes off, and you're almost at a straight 90 degrees with that curved trigger. And make a note of that too, because that's important. That'll show up when we compare it to the X. Excuse me. So all right, so here you go. This is the P365. Now there's a lot of SIGs out there right now. One of the other SIGs that we have available. Let me slide this over here. This is the P365X, and you're asking yourself, so what's the difference? What's the big deal? Once again, when you get into the P365X, you have your pistol, you have your spare magazine, you have your manual, and in here you have the lock. Hold on, let me show you. There's the lock. You have a different tool here. This is an Allen wrench, and I'll show you why you need this Allen wrench in a minute. So let's take this magazine out of this plastic bag, and let's take this pistol out of this plastic bag. Make sure we're unloaded there. All right, so this is the P365X. If you look on the slide, you'll see there is an X. Hopefully you can see that. So the P365X is not called a micro compact. You'll see why. There's a little bit of difference. It also has X-ray, what they call X-ray day-night sights. You'll look. There's the sights. You'll see they're really the same sights that was on the 365. You have that green fiber type in the front, and you have the two white dots on the back. One thing you might notice immediately is different is the trigger. The trigger is a flat trigger instead of the curved trigger. So what difference does that make? Not much. It's just a different ergonomic feel. If you watch where this pistol, when I squeeze the trigger here, watch where it goes when it clicks. 90 degrees. Same position. So it's probably the same trigger pull I would have if I had to guess. The P365X, let's see, it is 6 inches overall instead of 5.8. So it is 2, which is 2/10 of an inch longer. Not very much longer. This one is 1.1 inches wide instead of 1.06, so maybe it's slightly thicker, maybe. Well, I mean it is, but it's just, you really can't tell. 4.8 inches high instead of 4.3 inches high, so you got a half an inch higher, which really turns out to be, if you're going to look at it this way, it really turns out to be a difference in the grip. You put these side by side, you can see the 365X has a little bit longer grip. It is a 3.1 inch barrel, same barrel length as the other, and the weight is 17.8 ounces. So you have a pistol that's a little bit bigger, but it weighs exactly the same as its brother or sister, depending on which way you want to look at it. 17.8 ounces for both. You get a little bit bigger, but the same weight, and essentially the same sight radius. The differences are you have a little bit longer grip. These magazines, remember on the 365, these are 10-round magazines. And the 365X, you have a 12-round magazine. You have 2 of them. As you'll notice, both of them are flush. So you have 2 flush magazines. You do not have the extended magazine that you have on the 365. Probably because this is a little bit longer, so you don't really need it. So look, my pinky finger was swinging in the wind with this flush magazine on the 365. So let's try the 365X. So that's where your 0.3, you have a half an inch. There's where your half an inch went. So maybe the grip is a little bit longer, maybe it's a hair thicker. That's what's going to be your major, one of your major differences. Your other difference, if you'll take a minute, let's look at the slides on these, and let's see what you see is different. Straight, you notice this right here. This slide on the 365X is inlet. You can remove this. This is optic ready. So what happens, that's where your wrench comes into play. You can remove this, and then you have a spot where you can mount any number of optics. Sig does have a version of this with the Romeo Zero optic already mounted. I did have one of those, but it is gone now, so I do not have it anymore. So I can't show you what it looks like. But basically, it looks like this with this taken off, and the Romeo Zero is mounted here. The Romeo Zero is a good optic. I recommend it. It's very easy to use. Anyway, so there's a big difference between the 365 and the 365X. This is optic ready. This is not. And that's pretty much it. I believe some of the newer Sig pistols were coming out with adjustable back straps. You can take these out and replace them. This one does not have that right now. So this is the same operation as the other one. Slide lever, takedown lever. Like I said, your trigger pull is the same. It works at it catches at a 90-degree angle, the same as this, although I don't have this cocked at the moment. Probably the same trigger pull, same weight. So it just depends on which one fits in your hand better as far as which one you want. Those are the only differences. I will show you very quickly. Let me move this out of the way here. How these take down. These don't take a lot of effort to take them down. First of all, take out the magazine. Work the action. This lever has to come all the way down. So you have to pull the slide back first. I forgot that little tidbit of information. So pull the slide back and lock it. Then you can pull this lever all the way so it just moves. You can pull this lever all the way down. Then you can release the slide, and then it just comes right off. So there you have all your innards there. There's that. This does, you can take your spring off just so. Then your barrel comes out just like that. So there you have it. That's probably as much detail as you need to get into for just normal care and maintenance. Put it back together is exactly the opposite. Barrel's there. Bringing your guide is here. It clicks in right there. If you've ever taken apart a clock, you'll be pretty familiar with most of this. Everything goes back on the rails. All right. When you pull it back and it catches on the slide lever, normally it kicks this off. If it doesn't, you just flip it off with your finger. Then you're good to go. See, you're back together. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't do that too fast. But it's very simple. It is one of the things that is explained in detail in the manual. Hence why I say read the manual. All right. So I think that got everything. Push this back up here. Hopefully that was a good substitute for the original video. I'm sorry that didn't work. But hopefully I got everything in here on this one. Thanks for watching. That's it. This is the 365 Unbox, and I compared it to the 365X. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your listening. If you have any comments, please feel free to comment, subscribe, hit the little bell in the corner. And if I have, when new videos come out, because there will be new ones, you'll be notified. So I appreciate it very much. Again, thank you for your time. Y'all have a good day out there. And until next time, I'll see you then.